politics is a game to better the life of the citizen. But in Cameroon, they have twisted it in a way nobody can understand. The senatorial election just ended in Cameroon. And then from that day, I keep on asking this particular question, whether Cameroon is returning to one-party system. Because the CPDM, the result is not yet out, but what we saw from other police stations, we believe that all the Senate or CPDM won everywhere in the 10 regions. And it's not a surprise when this the Senate was created in 2013. The first senatorial election, the CPDM won in 8 different regions. And the second one, they won in 9 different regions. And this one, it will not be a surprise that they will win in all the 10 regions. And many people have been asking the question, where are the opposition parties? I once said in one of my videos that there is no opposition party in Cameroon. There is not just one. There is no one. Because the government of Cameroon have twisted politics in a way nobody can understand. And it is no longer a game to better the life of the citizen. But it is a game played by the rich people, the elite, the politicians, and the top government officials, manipulating the civilians and manipulating the electorate code in order to stay in power. Politics is being wise and able to show the ability to make the right decision in any situation. But in Cameroon, they do not need wisdom. They need corruption, stealing, fraud, and political instability in order to stay in power. They need illiteracy, and they need poverty. They need hunger, and all kinds of terrible things in order to stay in power. They take advantage of the frustration in Cameroon in order to stay in power. And today we are going to look at political corruption. What is political corruption? Political corruption is defined in just one statement. Political corruption is authority plus monopoly minus transparency. Authority, which that authority is having monopoly over everything, then lacking transparency, not answerable to anybody, not accountable to anybody. And that is exactly how the government of Cameroon operates. They have taken over authority. They have authority over this territory, Cameroon. And they have monopoly over every little thing happening in Cameroon. And they lack transparency, not answerable to anybody, not accountable to anything. And that is what is happening in Cameroon. They have made politics to become something deceiving. And that is what we accept and we hold on to. Due to corruption, politics in our beloved country, Cameroon, have been twisted to have a different form. Politics in Cameroon is based on corruption and nothing else. It's based on corruption. It is not longer a game to better the life of the citizen, but it is a corrupt game where the government of Cameroon has corrupted corruption. And many international observers, many international community will sit like this and say Cameroon is transparent as election is concerned. Because they are looking at it at the level of normal corruption, in which Cameroon have corrupted corruption, and they are above, Cameroon is above corruption. And nobody can identify. When you stay below, at the level of normal corruption, you will never see that Cameroon is corrupt. But Cameroon is one of the most corrupt countries, especially in election, politically. In my country, politics determine who has the power, not who has the will and the truth. That is what is in my country, Cameroon. It is all about who has power, who is more powerful, who is rich, who is influential. That is what we know about politics. And anybody who wants to become a politician just have to look some little money. Just have to be influential within his own or her community. Just have to join any popular political parties. It is about who has the power. And that is why those with power remain in power. Like President Pobia for 40 years today. And many ministers that he started with. Somebody like Bello Buba Magare was under Amadou Ahidjo as a minister, but is still active today as a minister in Cameroon. Esa Choroma Bakare. And many others. The Minister of Justice. And that is how they have turned politics in Cameroon to be. It is just a compensation, a compensative issue. Pobia compensating those who are being behind him throughout this period, not those with the will to better the life of the citizen in Cameroon. Without corruption in Cameroon, politics, it would not be a source to most of our so-called politicians in Cameroon. Politics today in Cameroon is deceiving, is false promises, is business, is the affair of the rich people, the elite. It is becoming clear that Cameroon is gradually changing from a governance system to a political system where everybody wants to be a politician and every decision is based on politics. That is how Cameroon is gradually becoming. And nothing we can do. That is why today in Cameroon we have political schools. School without teachers, school without benches, school without infrastructure. That is why today we have political hospitals, hospitals without nurses, hospitals without equipment. That is why today we still have people selling drugs at the roadside. That is why today the government of Cameroon on pieces of paper deny indecent dresses, immorality. But we are seeing it on national TV. We are seeing it all over Cameroon. That is why today in Cameroon, the government on pieces of paper banned that no sachet whiskey. Whiskey it's sold along the street. But today, they are all over. That is what we call political decisions. Cameroon. That is the country we are in. And we are praying every day for God to intervene on our behalf so that we can enjoy the resources he gave to us. Cameroon is a presidential republic with a peculiar twist to its political evolution and system of government. Many believe that a power turns to corrupt, and absolute power corrupt absolutely. But I do not agree with it. I do not. And because of this statement, many people have developed fear within them and do not want to join politics. They do not want to involve in it and have allowed politics in the hands of wicked, selfish, and evil people. And that is why they are manipulating us. They are twisting us. They are doing all sorts of things. They are doing everything possible to remain in power. And one of the things they are doing is to increase the rate of illiteracy, is to increase poverty, is to frustrate many Cameroonians. Because when we are frustrated, they can manipulate us easily. And today I am calling on you and I to involve ourselves in politics wherever we are, because it is only through that we can change that country, Cameroon. It is only through politics that we can change and vote for somebody. So I am calling on you today. Never you should never say you are voting right. The CPM can corrupt but they are corrupting you and I. If they come with whatsoever they are having, and we have the zeal and the determination within us to change our country, we are going to change it after enduring what they will offer to us. And that is what I'm coming up, that we have to change the political atmosphere in Cameroon. We have to do it, because if we don't do it, we will suffer, and our children will suffer. Due to corruption in Cameroon, many people have been asking this particular question. Is there any good reason why we should even have a country? Because we are not enjoying. Is there any reason why we should have even a country? Not to talk of thinking of who, on how to govern that country. Assuming, however, that we ought to have it. Because even in the Bible, places were divided and named a nation and a country. Yes, we have to have it. Which kind should we have? Is it a monarchy? Is it a military kind of country? Or a country ruled and controlled by dictators? Or which kind of country that we're talking about? Is it a country that will have democracy as Cameroon is? And if we decide, as Cameroon decided to go in for democracy, which kind should we go in for? Is it good, the right democracies, or the corrupt democracy? Because when I look through Cameroon, I discover that they have decided and chosen the corrupt types of democracy. The corrupt types of democracy. The corrupt types of democracy, where we cannot explain anything. We don't know what is going on. Only those who decided and choose that kind of democracy can explain to us. A democracy is characterized with political instability, political manipulation, electoral fraud. That is the kind of democracy that Cameroon have chosen under the leadership of Amadou Ahidjo and President Paul Biya. What can we do as Cameroonians to change this? It is very simple. Communicate with your conscience and register to vote in 2025. Communicate with your conscience and vote the right person. Do not sell your voting right for a bottle of beer, for a tin of sardine, for a loaf of bread. Do not sell your voting right for 500 francs. Vote the right person. Vote the right person. It is time to eliminate the corrupt government that President Paul Biya and Amadou Ahidjo have planted in Cameroon. It is time for us to change it. Because this system only helps us bear unfruitful, useless politicians who are causing confusion all over the country, creating rebel groups, creating terrorism, creating hunger and poverty. That is what they are doing. And today, a rich country like Cameroon, that many scientists and many people say it is Africa in miniature, is having one of the highest refugees all over the world. There is no place you would go in the whole world without seeing a Cameroonian seeking political asylum. There is no place. Go to Nigeria and see millions of Southern Cameroonians there suffering. Go to the city of Yaoundé, Douala, Bafoussam, and many parts of Cameroon and see Southern Cameroonians is suffering as IDP. And they are being killed every day. The government accusing them that they way Amazonia, and they are killing them every day. That they are supporting Amazonia. So Southern Cameroonians do not know where to go. Cameroonians do not know where to go. The people in the far north region do not know where to go. Because the government of President Paul Biya has created Boko Haram. You go to the east region, they have created kidnappers. You come to the central regions, they have created killers that are killing and suppressing people. Not to talk and not to criticize the government. That is the government in which we are. What can we do to set ourselves free from this terrible calamity? People are dying every day. If you are a Cameroonian, you will bear me witness that a day have not passed. A day has not passed in Cameroon without us hearing that a lifeless body of a Cameroonian was discovered in so and so place. A day has not. Every day. Every blessed day. Because of the insecurity the government of President Pobia has planted in Cameroon. And this is the politics we are talking about. They created the House of Chiefs. They created the regional council. Yet, with no resources. The first thing they gave them, in which they told us that they were creating this house in order to bring the government closer to the people. But the only thing they have given to those they elected, a regional councillor, are vehicles. Luxurious vehicles. Vehicles that cost millions. Why people are suffering. Why Cameroonians are suffering. That is the government we have for ourselves. That is the government we have for ourselves. Nothing to benefit. That Cameroon, under the leadership of President Pobia for 40 years today, a city like Buea, the first capital of Cameroon under the Germans, the capital of the British, the southern Cameroon, today do not have drinkable water. And thousands killed in 2022 because of coronavirus. That is the country. A country with more than 360 political parties, and only one is represented. Only one will be represented in the House of the Senate. Only one, the CPDM. If any other political party will be represented, it is out of the goodwill of President Pobia, who will be appointed another 30 members, senators. That he will decide either to appoint one SAF member. If not, the whole Senate will be CPDM. With over more than 300 political parties in Cameroon. That is the politics we have in Cameroon. A terrible. Is this terrible? Terrible. Politics in Cameroon has been corrupted. And qualification, Cameroonians with qualification, experts in Cameroon cannot be appointed anywhere. If you want to be appointed after graduation, after your master's degree, after your PhD, you have to go for political certificate. You have to join popular political party like the CPDM. And when you will join, they will give you certificate, like sub-session president. If you do not have this certificate, you cannot be appointed in any post of responsibility in Cameroon, whether you are who. But if you have the certificate, which is the political certificate, sub-session president, without any qualification, without any knowledge, you will be appointed to be minister. You will be appointed to be a doctor in the hospital, in which you have never, maybe you did not even go to school, or you did not go for any medical training. Because you are a CPDM, you are more qualified than any other person. That is the politics we are talking about in Cameroon. Corruption is the biggest reason for the downfall of most empire and civilization. And Cameroon is a good example. A country blessed with all the resources a rich country can stand and boast of. Yet they are living in abject poverty. They are living in misery. They are living in frustration. That is the downfall of this country. They are living in insecurity. People cannot eat. People are begging along the street. Thousands of the citizens of a blessed nation are wandering like wild animals in the forest, begging and eating white food. Some in Nigeria, and people are making mockery of it. Go to Libya, Cameroonians are there, thousands of them, trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea to Europe. Go to Italy, they are there slain in an open air. Go to France, they are begging along the street. Go everywhere, and Cameroonians are there. Begging along the street in a strange land is better than returning back to their homeland because of politics. We need just one thing, and that is a positive change of mentality, starting from the least person to those who stand for freedom.